Y'all boys. I just got a text. She said it's over, bro. I ain't tripping, bro. We out to the club with it. I just got a text, now I'm single with it. Now I'm in the club throwing singles with it. I'ma whisper in the ear, shout it, you can get it. Talk to her like an interview in 60 minutes. Hey, I ain't friendly, but tonight we could parlay. You got baddies and the drinks in the mall way. I ain't friendly, but tonight we could parlay. You got baddies and the drinks in the mall way. Boy, I need something strong for the night too. Come to the section and I bet you get a vibe too. Treat you regular, I know you never mind too. I know you loving all the Instagram hype too. Know what I mean?
Man, I just want to say all glory goes to God because without Him, nothing is possible. Through Him, anything is possible. So, I had went on this little business trip to help out a homie. Me and a friend, uh, Jade, was helping out our homie Wes on this business trip. Everybody's performance and the team's performance, it would help him get promoted. And if we didn't perform the best, then he wouldn't get promoted. But with that being said, we went on this team business trip, and we executed flawlessly, like flawlessly, like at before we ended the entire day itself on the last day of the business trip, the 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 top business lady called him, and no, I'm sorry, he called the business lady, just like tapping in and shit. And pretty much she saw the numbers and knew what was going on because she got to keep tabs and shit. But pretty much she congratulated him, said, "Yo, your numbers are amazing, yada yada yada. Congratulations on a new position, da 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 da." So the reason why I say all glory goes to God is because one, I know them through the church. I know Jade and Wes through the church, and Jade's father and his mother is our pastor. All of our pastors, but you know how that goes. Jade and Wes, they known each other pretty much since birth. Like, they mom and dad, well, their moms are tight, so their mom and dads are cool with each other. And like I said, they grew up in the church. So before I started going to their church, because I was the new one, uh, like way back, but they knew each other before, or while the church thing was going on, and they been locked in. They really like brothers type shit. So some years later, I come along through church. My mom puts us onto a new church. We go to the church, and I'm cool with everybody. I'm cool with all the kids and whatnot. So that's like the little backstory on how I know them and how we all know each other. So just fast forward to like now. Um, Pretty much the homie West. We haven't seen him in a long time, especially Jade. And like I said, they're brothers, so they haven't seen each other in a while. So seeing him and relinking up with him was like, damn, bro, what's good? How you doing? How you living? How you feeling? Like, what's new with you? What you been going through? We was just catching up on old times and shit. And pretty much, we were just talking about our own things. Just like I said, catching up. And we were just talking about like our situation with him. And pretty much at that point, he proposed a business opportunity for us. And since he's the homie, he kept it real with us. He told us, if we do this, what his goal is, what he's trying to do, yada yada yada, like what he's trying to do for himself, but also giving us opportunity. And if we were with it, we was with it. This is what we were gonna do. Uh, we just talked about it and we all agreed. So the main mission was to produce good numbers. The better numbers we produce, the better it would be for him to get promoted. And if we do good numbers, he would get promoted. And like I said, we did that. So back to how you know God is in everything, because I explained it how we know each other through the church. So boom, my personal situation was, um my lesson that I was learning, that God was teaching me, was I need to start moving in faith, because I understand what this world is, not to the fullest. I'm just saying, like, me being here, I understand what my reality is, what's in my world, what's in my realm. Like, I felt like he was telling me I have a good grasp on that. Now it's time to move by faith. not being so worried on the worldly things, and just moving through faith through Him. And as long as you move through Him, He's gonna take care of everything that you need. And that was like my test, my teaching lesson, and things like that. So what this business trip also provided for me was a way to not worry about certain things, like rent, car, food, just little things like that. And the reason why I say that is because on this trip, I was trying to figure out, how we getting there. Once I stopped worrying about that, boom, we figured it out. Like, it literally fell in my lap. Like, Wes told us, he was like, "Oh, we going to Ocala with so and so. He gonna take us there." Boom. That was like a mini test, like a mini sign or a mini test of how to move through faith. Um, I was trying to figure out how I'm going to eat because we're in a house full of people. No one went grocery shopping, and we all eat different. So I was like, all right, are we gonna go out to eat? I don't mind going out to eat, but I'm not trying to go out to eat every night. Like, I don't like wasting money like that. Like, I'd rather stay home and cook. You feel me? Make that shit last. Like, have a big ass pot of whatever we all pitch in, and make that last for like 2 3 days, and have another night where that shit just do the same thing. Last like another 2 maybe 3 nights. Maybe even go out to eat once, and then the food will last another night or two, and then we out. Like, thinking, I don't like to spend money frivolously, so I don't mind going out. Eating out is good. You feel me? It's a new experience and shit like that. Different taste buds, but I like to cook. I ain't gonna hold you. I like to cook. So I was worried about that. And once I start worrying about that, like how I'm gonna eat, where we gonna eat at, shit like that, stop worrying about that. There was food every night, like good food. It wasn't like we was just buying bullshit. Like niggas was cooking, niggas was bringing home food and shit like that. Like, I was like, all right, bet. Let me stop worrying about that. Like, stop worrying about certain things in a way where that's all I'm focused on. Like, I couldn't think of nothing else, right? So, um, another thing was like a sleeping arrangement. No one was telling us where we're gonna stay at, or are we gonna be in a hotel or B&B. Like, no one was telling us where we're gonna stay at, or the sleeping arrangements and shit like that. As soon as I stopped worrying about that, boom, got an Airbnb. It's all of us. We got a bed. We got a place to sleep. Like, all the good shit. So that was part of it. That was like the first day or two of like God showing me faith and it's telling me not to worry. So throughout the rest of the trip, um, all the lessons that I learned previously, as far as like keeping my composure, not being angry, things like that, things that I learned, especially through me and Jay talking about God and lessons and things like that, because to me he knows more, and the lessons that I learned through reading the word. So I apply those previous lessons that I learned, not getting mad at people, trying to learn how to talk to people better, change my tone, change my reaction, um, turning the other cheek as far as not being turning the other cheek as far as not being aggressive. Like being slow to anger and also not coming off aggressive with that bad energy like that. So this trip was more or less a test, and the final test was applying all the things that I learned, to helping my friend Wes reach that goal. Because if I follow suit through faith, like I said, faith is just leaning on faith, everything's gonna follow suit. So literally, the last day of the business trip, we pretty much, our numbers were so good, we closed the deal, and like I said, Wes got promoted. And through all the things that I was being tested on, because we were all being tested in different ways, but me personally, if as long as I didn't give up or quit on God, as far as like going back on my word, everything was gonna unravel. Like, everything was gonna unravel. Like like the best way I can explain it, like the way I would have reacted to things previously would have happened again. But since I'm not making those same mistakes, I'm getting different results. That's the best way I can explain it. So all glory goes to God because West got promoted. We did good numbers, and like I said, we got paid for it. So our money's gonna be good. And yeah, all glory goes to God. This was my personal lesson on moving through faith, and also realizing what kind of worker I am. Um, I'm very good at what I do, especially if I learn quick. Um, for the most part, I am a hands-on worker. Like any job that really deals with hands-on work, I'm gonna get good at it quick, especially in the kitchen. In the kitchen, no doubt about it. I'm him. In the kitchen, I am Himothy. Okay, so construction is another good one. I'm good with my hands. I used to work with my uncle. Um, he knows how I get down. I'm very good at taking orders. What else is a good job? I had a good car wash gig. That was a good gig, but it wasn't for me at that time because of the people. But like I said, it was very good because the money was good, and these people's cars was clean. I was getting nice tips. Like yeah, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like pretty much, I'm good with my hands. I don't mind talking, but the business thing really ain't for me as far as like sitting in meetings and talking to people all day and things like that. And yeah, I'm more of a hands-on kind of person. So, and like I said, all glory goes to God.